You're watching Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And this week, we're gonna eat my ass.
Good morning, BBs.
Good morning.
It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And the news today. We went down into the news mines, and we found gems.
We did.
I'm
find
telling
some
you,
gems.
we hit a rich vein of news.
You know when we know it's going to be a good news day?
When?
When Anthony calls me and he says, "Do not click the first thing in the spreadsheet."
Should we turn that off?
No, we don't have any water. I forgot to bring the cups out.
I do feel a little parched.
Yeah. Don't do that in the microphone.
But
ever
I
again.
do.
Literally never again.
I do feel a little bit parched. Yeah, there was important Adam Driver news yesterday. Nobody say anything in the chat. Sage has not seen it yet.
Yeah. No spoilers.
No, she did not click it.
Nope.
T and Mar in the live studio audience, because I'll tell you what, we respect the hell out of each other here.
We sure do.
And when one of us says don't click it,
We don't click it.
we don't click it because we know.
Absolutely not.
Because we know something cool is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna close this window.
Yeah, maybe just make it be quiet.
I'm just gonna make it shut
Just
up.
make it shh. Also, and a little while we're getting into that update for all of you sweet beans, we got back our photos last night from the photo shoot. What do we got? A whole network of cuties?
We did a little network photo shoot for all the cuties in the network.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta tell you, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty cuties.
We're very excited to share them. We took a lot of photos.
We should have them finished soon.
Yes.
It's very, very exciting.
It's very exciting.
Did
we
we
got
check
the
my
full
NDI?
fail
Is my
safe
NDI
cast. Oh
working?
no, absolutely not. Don't go to it right now.
Okay. Woof.
It's fine. We'll fix it.
We're just gonna
it'll
fix
be
it.
Easy.
We're gonna
It'll
fix
be
it right
easy.
now. Anyway, yeah, we all got together.
And it's a nice family shoot. Yeah, it is. It's a real nice family photo
We
shoot.
did It's Too Early photos.
Uh-huh.
We did failed safe photos.
Uh-huh.
We did damsels photos.
Yes, we did.
And all very good.
All very good. It's true. The other shows that we did not get to take photos for are because we have cast that's out of state.
Yeah.
That's
but hopefully soon.
Hopefully very soon.
Hopefully soon we won't all be terrified of travel.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Now both of them are working. Can
All
you
right,
believe
great.
it? Are you ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
No.
So I am going to turn sound up on this.
Okay.
This is Adam Driver for Burberry.
So then, in that case...
First mic punch of the morning.
And it was you.
And it was me.
Just gonna make sure everything else is muted.
Now, this is very important Adam Driver news. And I hope you're all ready for it.
Okay, let's see if we're getting audio. We sure are. Going loud.
Yeah.
Burberry Hero, a new fragrance for men.
Yeah, that's right. Adam Driver turned into a sexy centaur.
Now let's talk about what just happened here.
Would you like? I've got the frame here.
Okay, first of all, he was swimming alongside a horse. It didn't look like those were attached to him.
Yeah, but then he became horse.
So him and the horse.
Yeah.
Let's take that again.
Yeah.
Maybe mute the music.
Yeah, we're gonna mute it.
Yeah, we're not gonna risk it twice.
So, there's our parallelogram of a boy.
Our beautiful boy.
Our beautiful, beautiful boy.
Uh-huh.
And a horse. He and the
Yes.
horse having a moment, clearly.
Horse, totally separate. Separate entities. Jesus Christ. For those of you who don't know, I am deeply in love with Kylo Ren.
There's a bit of confusion.
Uh-huh.
And then,
the new fragrance from
Very briefly, a horse.
And then he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you feel?
Changed. Changed like a man into a centaur.
It's really good, right?
Yeah. And as soon as he jumped into the water, as soon as he ran for the water, I was like, it's a fragrance ad. Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I'm with you on this. I'm following. I wonder what it is. Burberry. Okay, that's great.
Super artsy, just your standard fragrance
the
ad.
kind of music, especially as someone who used to like work in fragrances and used to have to like watch these constantly. I was like, yeah. As soon as it came on, I was like, all right, perfume ad. Cool. I gotta say, I didn't call Centaur, though.
No, nobody called Centaur, and that's why I think we were all very surprised yesterday.
Wow. He said, don't click on anything about Adam Driver today. And I was like, Anthony, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be really tough.
And I did it, everybody.
The Grumpy Steen in the live studio audience, the fragrance is just Adam Driver's sweat mixed with horse sweat.
I'll take it.
Do you know how many people would get laid if we could bottle that? All of us. Everyone. All the time.
Kylo Ren is a centaur now. So you can ride him in a PG-13 way. Yes, I agree.
More or less attractive knowing he's a centaur?
I don't think I've processed that yet.
Yeah. Different?
Different. I wouldn't say more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say more. I'm going to say less, but I'm intrigued. Less, but I'm more fascinated.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And he was already a pretty fascinating guy.
Yeah. The beginning of the clip.
Also a lot going on there.
Oh my God.
He stayed really ripped.
Yeah. He really said this wasn't just for Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stayed ripped.
Yeah. Also, he when he's like kind of like swimming and spinning in the water, just like a quick comment. I enjoyed how like feminine that was.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was very
I loved it.
There's a Cirque du Soleil where it's all in the water. And it very much reminded me of that, you know?
I could see that.
It was very graceful. It's more graceful than you would expect from him.
It was way more graceful than I would expect him to be, and I expect him to be pretty graceful.
Yeah.
Captain Spicy in the live studio audience said, I heard Kylo Ren has an 8-pack.
I heard he's shredded.
Yeah. I heard he has an 8-pack.
So there you go. That's your Centaur content and your Adam Driver content, and we're
Wow.
not even 5 minutes into the show.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
What a strong open.
Unfortunately, we got to turn it around a little bit here.
Yeah, we going to that?
Talk about the most important thing of the day.
Let's talk about the actual important thing today, which is today Activision and Blizzard employees are staging a walkout in support of the harassment lawsuit and the victims of the culture at Activision and Blizzard. It says more than 2,600 current and former employees signed a letter to leadership. So if there's something, hey, I don't work at Activision or Blizzard, what can I do? Don't sign on to World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Don't open Overwatch. Don't get on League.
The walkout is going to happen today at noon.
Mm-hmm.
1,600 current employees, 400 former employees have signed on to the walkout.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to walk out both virtually and at campus because a lot of people are still working at home, so they will be logging out,
Yeah.
much like you should from all Blizzard products.
Yes.
And they are not just protesting the horrible things that have been going on at Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't heard, there is a huge litany of complaints, not by employees, but by the actual state of California, because there were so many complaints.
Yep.
That the DEFH had to get together and sue on behalf of the state of California for discrimination towards women and people of color, sexual harassment of women,
Sexual assault.
sexual
I
assault.
will also, big content warning here. We're going to do one of these. If you want to mute the video and turn it back on when we put our arms down, that's okay for you. I would also like to bring attention to the fact a woman took her own life over the harassment and bullying and sexism and groping, horrible treatment that she received at Blizzard. So this is not something to be taken lightly. This is not something to be forgotten. A woman is dead. A woman is dead because of the harassment she received in this workplace. So if you think, logging into World of Warcraft won't change anything, don't log into World of Warcraft. A woman is fucking dead.
In addition to the horrible things that have been happening, the walkout was organized after executive response to the lawsuit, which was not great. Basically, hey, this is not who we are. This is not what we do. We're gonna look into this, but we want you to know that we're still here for you, and we're still like, and it's just like,
right,
no.
with executives saying we've never seen anything like this happen.
We've never seen it, but let me tell you, if we're gonna take a look, just in case.
I had a friend who I will not name just for her own anonymity, who works at Blizzard, who put a post up on her Instagram just saying, just essentially that, like, the word of the top executives is not speaking for the employees. This is not how they feel as a company of individuals, especially as women and people of color within the company. That, they stand with the victims, they believe them, and they understand that this is happening and are going to do everything they can.
Yeah. So
the people who, unfortunately are not top executives, people who are not white men at the top, the people who see it and experience it every day.
Yeah. So that response obviously left everybody feeling hollow enough to organize this walkout. In response, Bobbert Kotick, just the worst person.
Fucking trash.
Bobby Kotick issued a letter to his employees about the walkout. This was an internal employee letter, which Game Informer got a copy of, where Kotick says it's been a difficult and upsetting week, and he denounces the initial Activision Blizzard response, agreeing with the employees that the messaging was tone deaf and that it is imperative that the teams come together and acknowledge all perspectives and experiences and respect the feelings of those who have been mistreated in any way. I'm sorry that we did not provide the right empathy and understanding. Hoping, I'm sure, to avoid this walkout, because statements like this always come right before workers take action.
Yep.
Just the moment before. Oh, wait. No. What did we say? Because we meant something different. If you think Bobby Kotick...
Did you think that we weren't saying the right thing? Let me try again to see if this is the right thing.
If you think Bobby Kotick wasn't CC'd and included on every bit of that initial response, if you think the entire legal team and executive team of Activision Blizzard did not craft that initial response, that's ridiculously naive.
And quite simply, nothing can be fixed with a statement anyways. You could have made the best fucking statement in the world. You could have said, that is awful. You're right, it's happening. We're so sorry. And that doesn't change anything.
You can absolutely say, this is not the company that I want to be running. This is not the sort of company that I want us to be. We're taking this very seriously. If you have to say it in a way where your shareholders are happy as well, where you have to nod at the money, there's a way to say it where you nod at the money that still acknowledges that you understand things need to change. Ubisoft, listen, as much as we dunk on Ubisoft, and will continue to, they put out an entire report that says we have created a culture that is so toxic.
We are going to create a game studio that is so toxic.
So, of course, the walkout is going to put this way more into the mainstream press.
Yes.
Because then this becomes a general business story. This becomes something that leaves the world of games.
Yeah.
And they don't want that.
They definitely don't. And a reminder that a company like this, there is not a person they can get rid of. There's not even a few people they can get rid of. There is not, if you wait long enough, it won't be attached to it. We cannot return to Blizzard and Activision games. We can't, quite simply. If you care about these people's lives, these women's lives, we can't fucking do it.
Yeah, this isn't a Marvel movie where there are 2 Hydra agents, and if you get rid of them, the government is good again.
No, this is not only every man who harassed people, and goddamn, there's a lot of them, but it's also every single one that sat by and watched it happen.
Changing a culture like this in a large company is
Nearly impossible.
it's moving a mountain. It really is. And if they're not making huge steps towards changing it, it simply will not happen.
I
Corporate
don't
cultures
see how it changes.
corporate cultures become entrenched for decades. You know, imagine getting 5 of your friends to agree where to have dinner. Now, imagine a company of 5,000 to 10,000 people, and you got to get them all on the same page about something. The people who have felt comfortable with the culture the way it is, there are going to be a lot of them. So
and
it's really
this is a company
tricky.
that I think has to be essentially taken to the ground before it could possibly be rebuilt to be anything decent.
Con98 asks in the live studio audience if the protest will be streamed. No idea. I'm sure some employees will be sharing what's going on today.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be easy enough to find.
But there isn't a like planned specific programming for it.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's your update on that. Let's how do we bring it back? How do
Let's
we
bring it back to something cool. Let's do the exact opposite of that and show off the new trailer for Baldo the Guardian Owls.
You got it.
Let's get right into it.
Absolutely.
Baldo the Guardian Owls, if you are wondering, if you haven't heard of it yet, it's been getting a lot of notice for its Ghibli-like
It's so lovely.
visuals and its Zelda-ish gameplay. Absolutely beautiful. And this new trailer gives us the release date, which
August 27th.
August 27th.
That's soon. Can you believe it's like
Look at the
August?
sushi chef.
Oh, I'm
Look
gonna
at that
play
little
this so
town.
hard. Oh, I'm gonna play the hell out of this.
Dog petting confirmed.
So good. Come on.
I've been
that
following this
garden.
one. Baldo and the Guardian Owls is definitely definitely an intersection of everything that I love.
Yep.
So I've been following this one a lot. You know, the Ghibli look is really hard to pull off, the animated look. And in the beginning, when they showed their first trailer, I was not into it.
No.
I was not into the character designs especially and the
Interesting.
animation. It seems like they've really you know, but that was early animation.
Right.
And those were earlier models. They've really tweaked everything and kind of finalized everything to a point where I feel like it's really beautiful. I honestly think that the background and world design is more striking to me than
Yeah.
the character design.
I agree. The landscapes and the environments are much, much more detailed.
Yeah, Lu Zhaoqi in the
Wow, though.
live studio audience is mentioning Ni no Kuni, which, of course, if you're talking about a game that cribs from Studio Ghibli, you gotta talk about Ni no Kuni. And I think what's great about this is, unlike Ni no Kuni, which is a much more traditional RPG, this is a much more Zelda-ish action RPG, which is a little bit more up my alley.
Yeah,
Though
I
I
can see
love Ni no Kuni.
I haven't played it.
It's very good. The second one's interesting, but didn't grab me as much.
Okay, I feel like I should. And hey, while we're talking about chill vibes games, real sweet games, we had some conversation recently about during the last Nintendo Direct, how there was no Animal Crossing updates. A lot of people were speculating that might be kind of the end of the wave of Animal Crossing, the end of Nintendo really caring for Animal Crossing. But Nintendo has promised that new updates are coming. A free update arrives on July 29th. They just said to make sure that you're updated, enjoy the upcoming weekly fireworks shows and
Yeah.
new seasonal items. Really vague about what it's going to be, though.
Yeah, it's the follow-up tweet to that really interested me.
Yeah, so that comes out tomorrow. They said, in addition to these updates, more free content for Animal Crossing New Horizons is currently in development for later this year. More information will be shared in the future, so please stay tuned. Thank you for your support and patience. They said, we're not done. No, we're going to keep Animal Crossing.
We don't have maybe anything to say or maybe much planned, but we hear you. We hear you.
We hear you.
We do know that in the coming weeks, as part of this seasonal update, players will be able to purchase an eggplant cow and a cucumber horse.
Look at those.
There will be boba tea, and custom fireworks are coming back.
Look at the eggplant cow. What the hell is that?
This is one of those cultural things.
It's beautiful. I love it.
This is definitely one of those cultural things that I don't understand, but if we don't get it over here, I'm going to be very angry.
Same. I'm in love with it.
I do not know the cultural, like the Japanese cultural importance of this and summer and what it all means.
It's beautiful and perfect is all I know.
But if we don't get it, I'll scream.
Yeah, no, I'll riot.
I will lose my ding dang mind.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, I understand that a lot of the responses to that post are people saying this is the Animal Crossing with the least amount of content. This is the emptiest Animal Crossing I've ever played, et cetera, et cetera. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Same.
I do wish there were more. They were dripping out more updates the way they did for that first 6 months. Now we're getting to that point where now we're getting the recycling of seasonal content.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a lot of great stuff in it. I want to know where our Zelda 35 is.
Sure.
In,
it's not coming.
In Animal Crossing. We got the Mario stuff. Where's our Zelda stuff?
It's not coming.
I know it's not coming.
I will say, though, like, people who are like, this is the most empty Animal Crossing. Where are the updates? I'm like, have you played other Animal Crossings?
Did you play?
Did you get through the time on GameCube when free updates weren't even a thing?
Wasn't it? Yeah, there was stuff that was in the GameCube version, and that's what you got.
That's what you got. That was the game. The fact that there were still seasonal events was mind-blowing to me at the time. The fact that the snowman would come to town because it knew it was Christmas?
It knew it was Christmas.
Are you kidding me?
That's video game technology.
That was huge.
That's video game technology. Listen.
Oh my God.
Did you play City Folk? I mean, this is way more game than City Folk.
Definitely more than City Folk.
Come on. I do still think that I don't know if New Leaf is my favorite because New Leaf was the perfect Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Or if New Leaf is just the one that I emotionally attached to at the time. But I do think New Leaf is the best Animal Crossing.
All right.
You know?
That's fair.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all. I want to know when Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD on the Switch is coming.
Of course you
Don't
do.
we all?
We
Strife?
all
Don't
do.
we all?
We all do. And it was also, man, the other thing about the GameCube one, Scott Davis is mentioning some of the Nintendo codes or the things that you could put into it.
Yeah.
It was before there was a virtual console, and you remember they were just giving out Nintendo games in Animal Crossing?
Yes.
You could just get Nintendo games
Yes.
and just set up 8 Nintendos in your little house.
Yes, you could.
It was so good.
God, it was so good. Man, the furniture sets were so direct. Nobody did furniture sets this time around. When I was really into Animal Crossing, it was all about getting one particular set of furniture and making your entire house that. This time people were like, no, I'm going to stylishly design with a combination of things.
Yeah.
Which was such a different thing where I was like, no, I need all of the Halloween furniture.
Yeah,
And
for
as
sure.
soon as I started this, I was like, great, I'm going to start collecting the Halloween furniture. And everyone was like, style. And I was like, what?
The only thing I saw people getting really intense about was the
event ones?
was the astrology ones.
Oh, okay.
The ones from Celeste, where it's like there's one piece of astrology furniture every month.
Yeah.
And people really wanted that.
Right.
But even that stuff isn't meant to make like a whole room because like one's a bathtub and
Yeah.
one's a bed and
But that's the thing is you didn't usually have that many rooms. Also on the GameCube, you could have multiple rooms. You could expand into multiple rooms, but like you would
house-
just make one room. You just put a bathtub and a bed and
your
a couch.
house is so big in this one.
It's so big.
And you can do so many things. With the custom patterns and the panels. I built a subway station.
Yeah, dude.
I built a subway. People who are saying this is the most empty and boring Animal Crossing
Lying.
are just mad because they want more Animal Crossing, and I get that. but you gotta look at it and just directly say what you want.
You gotta say, this is good. Can I have more?
This is good, but you were giving a lot of it at a really good pace in the beginning.
Yeah.
Could you please continue that pace at all?
You want to talk about this and I get us some water?
Yeah, sure. This is gonna be real quick.
Well,
I might talk about 2 things then.
then talk about 2 things.
I might talk. Who knows what I'm gonna talk about while you're gone?
Who knows what you'll do?
Who knows? You know what it is I am a wild card, a loose cannon. I cannot be tamed. And once Saige is gone, all the rules are out the door. Let me see if the Bidoofs are working. The Bidoofs are not working. What if I spent this whole time fixing the Bidoofs? All right, let's talk about a little bit more Nintendo news. They may not be giving you any more Animal Crossing, but at least it still exists. If you're a player of Dr. Mario World, you got to say goodbye. Now, I was not a player of Dr. Mario World. It had a little bit of that mobile buy me things, had a little bit of that micropayment action. So I was not a fan. I just wanted Dr. Mario. I would have paid them $5 to $10 for just Dr. Mario. But Dr. Mario World, of course, was very Candy Crush. And if you're playing Dr. Mario World, I'm sorry, it's over on November 1st. All microtransactions are no longer available. And the end. This is the only thing that's weird about this to me. I don't think that I'm gonna miss Dr. Mario by any chance, or Dr. Mario World. But the thing about these like micropayment games and these mobile games that's so strange to me is they just disappear. What if you do like Dr. Mario World? It's so strange to me that if you enjoy it, it just disappears. I don't know. Very interesting. In other business news, we are a business show. You know, Saige isn't here, but she did pass the bar in the state of Virginia. I, of course, have my street MBA. I love my Oculus Quest 2, and it's a relationship that's fraught. I'm not going to lie to you, BBs. My relationship with my Oculus Quest 2 is fraught because of Facebook. And because of the nightmare that is Facebook. I can hook it up to my PC and still play PC VR games, which makes me happy. I hate having a Facebook account. I hate that my Facebook account has to be attached to things. Anyway, I still love my Oculus. Saige loves her Oculus as well.
I do.
When we hate ourselves for loving it.
Yeah, we do.
However, what do you got?
Snackies.
What do we got? Snackies? It turns out that the Oculus Quest 2 has been giving people face rashes.
Really?
Skin irritation is what
Okay.
people are saying. There have been complaints about this for a little while. The removable foam insert for your face has been giving people little rashes. Oh, yeah, I did do a sweet backflip. You missed it.
Oh, okay. I believe you. Like, whoa, so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I couldn't do one at your last place because you had a downstairs neighbor.
Right.
I'm just flipping all the time now. I can only do them like
That's
once or
fair.
twice a day, though, because I'm the oldest man on the internet. You missed it. Maybe
Well,
next time.
It is pretty good.
Maybe
for
next
those men on
time.
the internet. I'm sure I'll catch it next time. Oh, should I go back and watch the VOD?
Yeah, go back and watch the VOD. It's in the VOD. People have been complaining about this. Facebook is actually listening. Oculus has suspended sales of the Quest 2 currently. And if you're a current Quest 2 owner, they will give you... I got the email about this yesterday. I don't know if you did. You can send in your current face cover for a nice new one, along with a free silicone, one of those silicone covers that you got to pay extra for.
Ah.
They're swapping it out for everybody. Because everybody was getting itchy face from the Oculus.
Wow.
Do you know what I don't miss during pandemic times?
What?
Going to a convention and using a public VR helmet.
Oh God, no. Anthony, did you ever get itchy face from it?
Mm-mm.
Right?
Never.
Same. I didn't get the email.
But we're
about it.
extremely tough.
It's probably because of our real thick skin
Mm-hmm.
from being internet creators. It's probably because being internet creators gave us real thick skin.
Oh man, I was thirsty.
Wow.
Yeah, there
Look
was.
at the spreadsheets. Did you show the spreadsheet while I was gone?
I showed many spreadsheets.
Did you show the spreadsheet while
Each
I was gone?
spreadsheet
I was
more
gone
fascinating than the last.
I was gone for like 2 minutes. You didn't show the spreadsheet, right?
No.
Hi, Bijan. We're having snackies.
I remember the first PAX where people were trying out the public version of the Oculus. And it was just people would try it and then they would wipe it down, and then someone would try it and they would wipe it down. And somebody, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but there were stories, unconfirmed stories, they were being picked up by all the gaming news sites that said somebody used it with pink eye and gave like a bunch of people at PAX pink eye. I don't know if
No.
that's just an urban legend, but it was a thing that was being shared for a while.
Blade of Creation remembers in the live studio audience.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. But look how far PAX has come now. PAX West is, of course, coming up soon. Good God, I can't believe it.
That's scary. I want to go to PAX so bad. I will. Oh no.
Next year. Next year from me.
For me.
But I will say, under their health and safety information, they've made some big moves this week.
Okay.
Every attendee of PAX West will require a vaccine card or negative testing verification to get in the door. Everyone on the floor has to wear a face covering the
Wow.
entire time, including cosplayers.
Wow.
And they say, like, no cosplay-based excuses for your mask not fitting properly.
Uh-huh.
If your mask doesn't fit properly, get a mask that fits properly or don't wear your cosplay.
Wow.
They are, of course, they're saying that the convention center staff and the PAX enforcers will be doing much more cleaning than usual.
Right.
I think they keep PAX pretty clean to begin with. I would say that out of all the cons I go to, you know, if you do the bathroom test,
Mm-hmm.
PAX bathrooms don't get too gross.
PAX rooms.
PAX rooms. They are, of course, reducing capacity. Attendance and badges are limited, and they're monitoring how many people are permitted in the building each day and at a given time. Now, what
Wow.
this says to me is, if you're going, this is like how all airline flights are oversold.
Uh-huh.
They're only going to allow a certain number of people on the floor at the time, but they will sell more badges than that a day.
And then probably let people in essentially like timed groups.
Mm-hmm. They'll be doing like the nightclub clicky. So if you are going to PAX this year, keep that in mind. Show up early, and there will be directional and distance markings along the floor. They're pretty good about that too. Flow of traffic at PAX, they always have been.
I've never been to a PAX and I want to go so bad. This wouldn't be the time.
Should I update my iCloud for Windows?
I would say no.
7.21's out.
I'm going to say it probably not right now.
All right.
Anthony.
That's fair.
I'm going to say it's probably not the time.
I love this. I love this.
I love this as well. I'm very impressed. There's been a lot of conversation. There are a lot of conventions coming up right now. The other example that I can think of is Gen Con.
God, I want to go to Gen Con.
You know how bad I want to go to
I
Gen Con.
want to go to Gen Con.
I was offered work at Gen Con.
I want to go. I want to do failed save at Gen Con.
Yeah, I know. I was planning on potentially trying to like submit us for like a panel or something, or like do a show for it or something of the sort.
I've never been to one.
I've never been either. But the problem is Gen Con is not taking these precautions up to this point, which is a big bummer. I would love to go. I was planning on this being the year I go. 100%.
Yeah, we could do PAX Unplugged. That's true. Pills and advice.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with like what their tabletop scene is like.
Yeah, tabletop is always pretty big at PAX, but PAX Unplugged is entirely tabletop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's, you know, we all want these things to come back, but it's important that we do this safely. You know, I personally know 3 people who are fully vaccinated who got the Delta variant, and they're fine. They had basically a flu, but I think that was pretty lucky. And I think it's pretty lucky that they were kind of responsible people who, the moment they felt sick, got themselves tested.
Yeah.
And did not pass it on. Hopefully, did not pass it on to anybody. You know, that's the
Right.
biggest thing. Is I don't want to be the person who gets it and passes it on to somebody who can't get vaccinated or hasn't been vaccinated.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can wait. We can wait a little, we can wait another 6 months.
We can wait another 6 months. I don't want it, but we can.
I just hope I get to have a birthday this year.
I hope so too.
I'd like to have a birthday.
Yeah.
I'd like you to have a birthday this year.
That'd be fun.
That'd be nice.
It would.
It doesn't break my heart like it breaks your heart when a party can't happen. But it was pretty rough.
For me, I don't care as much about my birthday as I do about Halloween.
Yeah.
I really, really want to have a Halloween this year. That's the big one for me.
We made a pretty big effort for Halloween. We did the drive-through things and stuff.
We did the drive-through things, but on Halloween night we just sat around.
What was there to do? I mean, it was a bummer. It was a bummer.
Honestly, that was the one that hit me the most during all of COVID.
You were very bummed. I remember.
Like that, Halloween hit me the hardest of things that I missed.
Yeah.
That was tough. It was Halloween, and it was not being able to go and see my nephew on his birthday.
Yeah. There was a lot.
That was rough. That was my nephew's 5th birthday, and that was fucking tough.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like we're so close. Everybody just keep being responsible. You know, should PAX be doing PAX? I don't know, but at least they're doing it this way.
Yeah.
Which is, I think doing a big event is kind of still irresponsible, but if you're going to, this is the most responsible way to do it.
Right. I have one con on my calendar for October.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Dun 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 dun. There's some new good next gen tech stuff
Ooh.
that just came out. A couple things, and they're both Xbox related.
Love to see it. I want an Xbox, please. Microsoft, please.
This is about the Coalition, the developers of Gears 5. They released some of their work that they've been doing with the Unreal 5 engine on Xbox Series hardware. Now, we have seen some PlayStation stuff, some demos. This is the first time we've seen a team that really knows how to work Xbox hardware and work the Unreal Engine, working the new version of the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So remember, this is not in-game footage. This is not, representative of anything except them. Should I update my iCloud for Windows? Okay. I have my closed captioning turned on, and so it just says Xbox sound.
Sounds like a race car.
Yeah, all Xboxes sound like race cars.
The Xbox in your race car chair.
So here's some of the stuff that the Coalition's doing. This is their Alpha Point technical demo, and it's real beautiful, Saige. I mean, look at this.
Wow.
This is some of that real time.
That just looks like video footage.
Yeah.
That just looks like real-ass video footage.
Right?
That's unreal.
Hey! I mean, this is beautiful. You're seeing the ray tracing. You're seeing a lot of the real-time lighting.
In there.
Mhm.
God.
I mean,
Wow.
It's beautiful. All the particles. Like, they're really trying to flex and see what they can do with this. This is 100 million plus triangles with all real-time lighting and reflections. Like I always say, these things are never representative of games.
No.
Because remember that game logic and the underpinnings of the mechanical things that make the game work take up system resources and
Right.
overhead as well. But this is sort of what they can do if they're just trying to do pure graphical stuff. This is their character
Which
rendering
is still
test.
so important to see.
This is their character rendering test, and first of all, how dare they?
Music.
I mean,
Wow. That's a whole ass man.
that's a real boy.
Yeah, that's incredible. And like seeing these things, even though at this time we cannot, by any means animate this into a game, like this is where we could potentially end up.
Yeah.
There is a future where this is what games look like. And this is a huge step towards it.
Yeah. I mean, this is 160K triangles in the body, 31K in the face, which is not impossible with a bunch of other game stuff going on, but they would certainly pare it down a little bit. But it's just it's blowing my mind. This generation is all about light and shadow, and how realistically we can do light and shadow. Like, we're all looking at the wrinkles and things like that, right? Because that's what stands out to us. And those wrinkles are a little bit geometry, but the reason those wrinkles look so good is because
the shading around it and the shadows.
The ray tracing and the fact that the material can start absorbing light like skin can.
Right.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And if you want to see something like that that's a little more real time, we did get some new footage of Forza Horizon 5. Now, as we know, Forza Horizon is used as a technical showcase.
Yes, it is.
There's 30 minutes.
We've looked at a little Forza footage recently.
Yeah, this is a 30-minute video, so we're just gonna skip to the middle of it here.
Find a little proper gameplay.
I believe the streamer is up for the majority of it, but we can still see what's going on here. I mean, that's a beautiful game.
That is a beautiful game.
I want her to get into an area where there's a little bit more going on. But absolutely gorgeous. Here we go. Let's move along to this. This, I think, shows it off a little bit more. I mean, look at that lighting.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that sunlight off of those cars.
The moving kind of reflection of it, the way it's like hitting the pavement is so fascinating as well.
Horizon's fun. Here's the thing that's fun about Horizon. It will come to Game Pass. And it is the one that is more arcadey and feels more like a Burnout game. And so this is the one, like, I'll play Horizon.
Got it.
The actual Forza,
Main Forza game.
I don't really play because that's more simulation driving.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I have to drive a real car.
Yeah. And we don't even like doing that.
I don't like doing it. I like in Forza Horizon where you take a ramp over mud. Ooh. And there are hot air balloons in the sky.
I was really invested with her taking the lead there.
Yeah.
Yeah. She killed it. She's crushing it. I love that for her.
I love Forza Horizon because it is beautiful.
Yeah. I've never played one of the Forza games. I've watched a lot of gameplay of Forza games because that's the more interesting perspective for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not really interested in driving the car, but I am definitely interested in seeing what it looks like when someone drives the car.
Yeah.
You know? That's where I land on the Forza games, and I think I always will. I think I have played one or two at some point, but, like, it's not a game I'm gonna, pick up.
I like car games as technical showpieces for consoles. Mm-hmm. Like your Gran Turismos and your Forzas.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see because it's always like, how far can we push this hardware? I remember, my mother likes to come visit and get high.
Yes, I do.
Loves to come visit and get high.
And now they do.
Loves legal. I talk about it all the time. God, there's nothing my mom loves more than legalized marijuana.
Uh-huh.
And she will come and just, all she wants to do in California is walk the dog for a very long period of time.
Uh-huh.
Maybe go to a museum and then just get really high and hang out. And there was a year where I had first moved to San Francisco, and I believe it was Gran Turismo 4 had just come out, and it had the big photo mode that everybody was excited about. And we went to my friend's place, and he was one of those guys who plays like the B-spec mode where you have to run the PlayStation for 30 hours straight and simulate a team doing rally racing and all this stuff.
Oh my God.
He's really into it. And she came over. He's also one of the biggest stoners I know. Does that connect? Sure.
Yeah, of course. Say, babysit my mom.
They meet for the same time. They meet for the first time, get super high, and the entire night turns into my mom directing a fake photo shoot of fake cars while she's high, because she doesn't want to touch the controller. My friend keeps trying to tell her, like, oh, if you want to take a picture, you can. No. Just spin it around a little bit more. Okay, zoom in. Yeah. Can we change the light color? Oh, that looks very good. Do we get depth of field with this? Yeah, if you want to push this button. No, I don't want to push any buttons. You push the buttons. I can't do it.
Incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely fantastic.
She loves it, man. And I just remember sitting there being like, we've gotten to the point where this is fascinating enough looking that my mother is like
Yeah.
deeply invested.
Yeah.
Deeply invested. Speaking of this thing coming to Game Pass, we've been talking a lot about the Game Pass model.
We have. We're
Uh,
excited about it. It's terrifying. We're excited.
We're excited and it's terrifying.
Yeah. There's a healthy balance there.
We've talked about how this is a thing that Microsoft can do now, and it's a thing that Apple was doing big in the beginning and is still slowly backing off from because the economics of it just don't work over time.
Right.
We're worried about how much money developers can actually make.
Of course. It's the Spotify thing that we've run into. It's streaming services like Netflix that we've run into of can an industry survive on those shares, on those cuts.
Yeah. So somebody else is a little concerned about it. Friend of the show,
Neat.
buddy of mine from my PlayStation days, Sean Layden, who most recently was the head of Sony Worldwide Studios. He has now gone off to start his own company, but before that, he worked for Sony Computer Entertainment America. He was a VP at Sony Computer Entertainment Japan. And Sean is like, you can't do this forever. He's saying the exact same things that we've been saying. He's basically he basically did this interview and was talking about like, look, let's say you're making $100 million game.
Right.
Because if you want to make an Uncharted, you want to make one of these, like even a Forza,
Yeah.
you're making a $100 million game.
Right.
Now, Game Pass has 18 million subscribers. There, you have access to 100 titles. If you're talking about how much that works out to, Sean says it's very hard to launch a $120 million game on a subscription service charging $9.99 a month. You pencil it out, you have to have 500 million subscribers before you start to recoup your investment. So that's why this is what we call the loss leader. This is the lunch menu,
Right.
right? You get everybody in for lunch. You sell a really cheap lunch menu because you know you're not going to be busy at lunch. You're just hoping they come back for dinner.
Right.
They buy a couple drinks, they get a dessert.
Exactly.
So right now, Microsoft is taking a hard position
Yeah.
where they're doing a loss leader. They're putting everything online for you.
Do you think it'll work?
Like it still doesn't make sense. Like Sean goes on to say, even if you take that loss leading position, if you have 250 million consoles out there, you can't get 500 million subscribers off of 250 million consoles.
Yeah.
Even if you add another 100 million PC players.
Yeah.
How do you circle that square? How do you figure it out long term?
Right.
Which is why I'm like, hey, if you're gonna do Game Pass, now's the time to do Game Pass.
Because it might not be up there for long with the kind of quality that you're receiving from it right now.
Yeah,
I think you're
absolutely.
gonna have to scale back.
I did Apple Arcade for like 6 months while they were doing all their big prestige look at Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
And then I immediately pulled off of Apple Arcade.
Yeah. Anthony.
Yes. Saige.
Have you actually been playing your Game Pass?
Yes, I have a little bit. And Death's Door is on Game Pass, and I'm going to be playing Death's Door this week. I'm taking a little Zelda break.
Okay.
I'm a little,
Alright.
I'm a little Zelda burnt out.
That makes sense. You've played a lot of Zelda back to back.
Yeah, and
I
now
also heard not great things about the Skyward Sword HD remake.
Skyward Sword is not. Yeah, Skyward Sword is not great.
I've heard not great things. It's deeply unfortunate.
Skyward Sword is not great. Brent D&D in the live studio audience says they don't have to make it all up in the first month. No, they don't.
No.
But remember, it's not just one game a month.
Right.
These are multiple $100 million games a month. Remember, they're giving away the entire Bethesda back catalog right now.
Yup.
Oh, is it not on Game Pass? That's fine. I'll get it on Steam. Like, all of this stuff, and then you're paying out third parties too for putting their games on Game Pass.
Right.
There are a lot of games on Game Pass at once. Those are the numbers for just one $100 million game. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then there's the overhead of running the service. There's people coming and going. You're still taking losses on consoles.
Right.
It's tricky. it's easier to just sell a big game and
Yeah.
just fucking make that money.
Right. Very interesting. It'll be very intriguing. I think the next 5 years are going to be so crucial for game development. And I think that, like, we talked about this before, Game Pass is the most terrifying for these, like, AA developers that have to make that money back.
We're gonna lose the entire middle ground of games. We are. It's gonna be incredibly inexpensive, like cheaper, smaller indie games, and huge big budget blockbusters, and it's gonna be really hard for these like in the middle games. It's already kind of hard, and it's just gonna get worse.
Very
It's
interesting.
just gonna get worse.
Hey, everybody, it's all downhill from here. Now, that phrase,
Yeah.
people say that it's all uphill from here and all downhill from here.
People, I've found people
Which
use it
one's
interchangeably.
Which one's the good?
Sometimes people are looking at something horrible that's going to happen. They're like, it's all downhill from here. And it's like, but downhill, you don't pedal.
Right,
you go
downhill
fast.
is easier,
you
but
get a
you
breeze.
could also be like, well, it doesn't, because like.
But maybe you're out of
up is
control because you're
good.
going downhill.
Right, and in theory, like coming up is good. Everything's coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Exactly. So what is good, the uphill or the downhill?
What you want is-
uphill would be an uphill battle that would be hard, but you're also then rising.
Yeah, let me tell you something. As the oldest man on the internet, you want a nice level ground. I like a nice level walk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people are bringing up some stuff that we've been talking about over the last couple weeks, like Netflix releasing games.
Yeah.
This is all going to be very, very interesting.
Everything level from here.
It's all samey.
Honestly, it's all we can hope for.
That's what I hope for.
Yeah.
What do we have next? Oh,
What would you like to talk about next?
I'll tell you what.
Tell me what. Oh, you'd like to talk about Monster Hunter, would you?
Is that a surprise to you?
No, of course it's not. Let's talk about Monster Hunter Rise.
We would love to talk about Monster Hunter Rise, specifically what is coming to Monster Hunter Rise this very week. Amaterasu from Okami is coming to Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
You will be able to have Amaterasu as your Palamute.
That's beautiful.
How wonderful is that?
I love what they're doing with the like animation blend of the two styles.
Yeah, I love that she leaves behind the cherry blossoms when she runs in Monster Hunter. Oh,
Wow, yeah.
she looks so good, and you can get the giant paintbrush to use as a weapon.
I really wanted to get on this Monster Hunter, and I didn't have time to. I'm hoping maybe this will be people kind of playing it again, because I think I missed all of my friends playing it. Are you going to be playing?
Yeah, I love Monster Hunter.
Have you been playing Rise up to this point?
I have not played much Rise up to this point.
Let's play some Rise. I
Let's
would
do
love
it.
that.
I love Monster
'Cause
Hunter.
I missed the wave. A lot of my friends were playing it, and I missed it.
Monster Hunter does, all of these online multiplayer games, it's like it's always better with friends.
Right.
Monster Hunter, I think, for me, really requires friends. Because it's such a technical game, which I don't want to scare you away by saying it's such a technical game.
Why would that scare me away?
Because some people are like, I don't want to learn a new technical game right now.
Yeah, don't assume that.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. It just is. Sometimes people are like, this game's really technical and crunchy, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that. I can't.
Right.
But Monster Hunter requires like such a team balance and so much communication that I really only want to play it with friends.
Yeah.
Like I never just want to drop into a random
randos.
hunt
Yeah.
because I'm just like, I mean, sometimes it's good, but I just love being able to communicate, and I will
Right.
not communicate via voice with randos on a video game.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And you're the most capable of doing so safely.
Yeah,
You're
that's
like
true.
You're like the one kind of person that can.
Mm-hmm.
And even
yet-
you won't do it.
And yet, still
So
bad.
that means something. Let's also talk about. Let's get into a little bit of this down here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it. We don't have a ton of time left. This one was very exciting to me. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
that. There's a rumor. Is this a rumor?
Mm-hmm.
But we heard from the internets that Netflix might be developing a Dragon Age series. Ooh.
Now listen, Netflix has been crushing with video game adaptations. Castlevania, The Witcher.
Yep.
They just did one based on some MMO that I don't play that people really like. Great. Good for them. Dota's coming.
Exactly, Blade of Creation. Put it in my veins.
They're doing so much good stuff. They might be working on this
Now, there
Dragon
are
Age.
no details about this. There is just a rumor that it is in development. In a news report from a trusted source, Giant Freaking Robot said that a reported Dragon Age series is in the works. No details were offered at this time. But if I were to guess, I would say that it would be an animated format if this is happening. The reason being is that Dragon Age adaptation would be massive when retelling the tales of Thetis. That and any BioWare-related adaptation has usually been animated up to this point. I would also like for it to be animated. I don't want it to be live action. I think that would ruin it.
No, it's too grand scale.
I would like to see it in the tone of like Castlevania. I love Castlevania. I think it's an incredible series. But Castlevania is the thing that gives me hope for something like this.
Yeah.
If Castlevania hadn't happened, I would be like, are you sure that you wanna? I
can't believe
that.
I still can't believe they pulled off Castlevania that well.
God, it's so good.
I still can't believe they pulled off Castlevania that well. It's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. So yeah, very, very excited for that. If it's coming, who knows?
If it's coming, I would really like to watch it. And if it is, please tell me. Hey, Netflix, blink twice if you're making a Dragon Age series.
Saige,
tell me. Could you? Let me know.
For all good news, there is bad news. For all uphill, there is downhill. Saige, I have found something.
Yeah.
I found something, and remember that if I get this for you as a gift, it's a gift from a friend, and you can't throw it away, and you have to display it proudly because I'm your best friend, and you're not allowed to hurt me if I buy you this as a gift.
I don't remember agreeing to that in our best friend contract.
It's the first 4 figures, Spyro, Ripto's Rage.
I used to be such a Spyro fan.
I know.
You know that? I used to be such a Spyro fan. I was so excited to play Reignited.
Let me tell you something. There's nobody that hates something more than a fan who has been shunned and turned away from.
Yeah.
This is so my experience with first 4 figures.
Uh-huh.
This is big. It's gonna be big.
Yes.
It's an 8-inch figure. Actually, that's not super huge, but I've bought things from first.
8-inch figure's pretty big.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
That's a big little guy.
Here's the turnaround of it. My experience with first 4, and I don't know why it won't center. There we go. I ordered their Breath of the Wild figure.
Yes, I remember.
And it showed up in a box the size of my torso.
Yep.
I have a King of Red Lions on my shelf that is this big.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what am I going to it's just on my kitchen counter. When I'm sitting in my kitchen, I have a clear line of sight to my living room couch, except that I can't see my living room because I have nowhere else to put this giant King of Red Lions.
Yeah.
It's just in the middle of everything.
Like, I guess that's nicer than ordering a relatively expensive collectible item and it being teensy. Like, what if you ordered it and you thought it was like a nice size figure and it came in and it was like, boop.
Right. Well, I remember my partner at the time was like, how did you not know it was going to be this big? How much did you pay for it? I was like, I paid like $99. And she's like, how did you not know it was going to be that big? I was like,
sometimes
$99 when you're talking about like vinyl or Japanese vinyl is like, sometimes you get this.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought I was getting. I thought I was getting maybe like this.
Yeah.
You know, they had a version that was an additional $50 that lit up.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Alana Pierce got it, and she was like, I was like, is it cool? She's like, no, I don't have anywhere to plug. Like, it's just this giant power cord, and I don't know how to plug it in. And when I plug it in, it's just so bright. I don't know what to do.
Absolutely not.
She's like, you did the right thing. So anyway, First 4 is now making a Spyro that I'm going to get for Saige, and it's going to live right back there.
Or maybe on the shelves that we put up after we paint the wall.
2047? When is this happening?
We have to paint the wall.
When is this happening that we're gonna have a set for the show?
We gotta do it. It's time. I'm sick of being in this plain white room. This is not what our show's supposed to look like. Hey, if you've joined us since we moved, this is not what the show normally looks like. We have a cool, colorful wall and stuff. We did a painting stream last time. We'll probably do another one. Okay? We're gonna make this a whole cool thing, but I moved, and we haven't had time yet.
Oh, Kaylin Roar brings up, Kaylin Roar just saved your life. Kaylin Roar says, does Activision get a cut of the Spyro figure? I can't buy you a Spyro figure. I'm sorry.
I bet Activision does.
Of course they do. They had to get that license.
Absolutely. And a reminder, a big fuck you to Activision and Blizzard. And hey, since we were talking about this anyways, that Spyro remake was very bad.
It's very bad.
It's a bad fucking remake, and that's why he's joking about getting it for me, is because it is the only game I have ever rage quit on the internet.
The Crash remakes were bad too.
I didn't play them.
The controls were so off.
Mike, you stop that right now. The Spyro remake was infuriating. It was awful to play. It was a bad time. The timing was just fucking impossibly stupid. It was so poorly remapped. It didn't make any goddamn sense.
And he didn't look like a weird undulating Play-Doh sculpture.
Yeah.
You remember how in the first one he just looked like he was flooping around?
Yeah.
he was just like blorp, 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 and that was his run.
And that was better. The remake was real bad, which, hey, that's great, because, again, fuck you, Activision and Blizzard.
I fucking love PS1 era graphics. They're so bad.
We didn't talk
so
about this,
good.
but I do want to really quick before we wrap up the show, of course.
Yeah.
Because we still got a little bit of time. Marvel Future Revolution, a mobile game, which is...
We mentioned this, the beta for this last month.
Yes.
This is Marvel's mobile MMO, right?
Yes. It's an open world action RPG that looks really nice.
It looks incredible for a mobile game.
And we're not huge mobile gamers, either of us, but there's occasionally one that catches attention. And it has an official release date. That's August 25th. And just like, look at this. This is the release date trailer. Mm-hmm. It looks damn good. They put a lot of work into this mobile game, and I'm excited.
I mean, look.
I always want a good mobile game to play. I'm not against mobile gaming.
No.
When I find them, I love them. When I find one that I really like, I'm thrilled.
I love, we have our little Retroid Pockets.
Yeah.
We have our Retroid Pocket 2s, and we love playing like old games on it because I love a handheld game. I love going to the park and playing a video game.
Agreed.
I love a bathtub game. We know this. Mm-hmm. We know this.
But that's a damn good-looking mobile game. It looks like a lot of fun. Most of the stuff in this 30-second trailer, of course, is like cinematic and not as much of the gameplay. But there are moments of gameplay in there that look really, really interesting. And the fact that it's an action RPG, you're going to follow a little bit of story, I'm in.
Yeah. So the story of this one is... in the game, numerous Earths across the multiverse converge and form a primary Earth filled with missions across unique zones, including New Stark City, Hydra Empire, Sakaar, and many more.
That's a cool way to connect it. So it's like, fuck it. We're going to tell a bunch of really weird, different stories that are like alternates to what you're experiencing in films and television right now from Marvel.
It's Secret. It's Secret Wars. It's Secret Wars 2015. I love it. It's developed by Netmarble Monster. They're also the people that made Marvel Future Fight, which for a mobile fighter was like really good. It had some micropayment stuff, which I was not happy about.
Yeah.
But it was a solid fighting game, especially for a mobile game.
We don't know much about what this is going to contain as far as microtransactions. Like, it's a
Probably
free-to-play
a lot.
mobile game. It's going to have microtransactions.
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot. That's the bummer. We always say this, but like, I would rather just pay off the bat. I would rather pay $5 for the game and just own it and not have to deal with but if you watch ads, you get extra crystals.
Yeah, that was the problem with the Future Fight. Is it was just like, you're out of crystals that allow you to punch, and I was just like, that doesn't sound right. They're like, come back in 8 hours or give me $1, and I was like, I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy this. People have been trying. They haven't been trying. But the world has been ever so slightly pushing me towards getting a Backbone controller for my phone. You know
Ever
the
so
backbone.
slightly. You know how many times Anthony has texted me and been like, I think I'm just gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna do it. I think I need to do it.
Well, now everybody in my Discord, all the Jeremys, fucking started buying backbones together to play games.
Uh huh.
And they're all talking about how good their backbone is. And I'm like,
I'll pull it up for people.
the backbone is a mobile controller, and it's apparently gorgeous and wonderful and good. There's a way now. I figured out a way to put emulators on the iPhone without jailbreaking, and so I can play like GameCube and GameCube games and stuff, and like my Dreamcast games.
You know what it kind of looks like?
What?
A Steam Deck.
It does kind of look like a Steam Deck. It actually turns out to be smaller,
Yeah, of course.
but like,
Significantly.
come on, right? Imagine all your emulators on it. The DS screens fit perfectly side by side.
Anthony, set me up an emulator for the DS.
Yeah, okay.
Let me play this Wild Sims game.
Yeah, of course.
Please and thank you.
I'll help you set it up. It's super easy. And I want there to be more mobile games that I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a few that I really enjoy. I'm not part of Apple Arcade anymore, but Game Pass.
Game Pass.
I have Game Pass. if I'm sitting in my house, in my bathtub, playing a bathtub game.
Of course, you love a bathtub game.
I can also do the Steam streaming to my bathtub. Play it on my Backbone controller. This seems like a good investment. You know?
Right.
That's all. It seems like
Yeah,
a good investment
it's
to me.
$99.
It's expensive.
It's a little much.
It's expensive.
It's a little much for me. I looked at it and I was like, okay, I'm interested. But once I clicked onto the price of $99, I think if it was sitting at $60,
That's the thing.
a more standard controller price.
Like the Razer Kishi is I think 70, but it doesn't have a physical connection, so you get streaming lag and Bluetooth lag.
Yeah.
I want that good shit.
Someone in chat was like, this is all ads. Yeah. Yeah, they're paying us to say their controller's too expensive.
Yeah, they're paying me to say that I'm not going to buy this controller.
Yeah. Hashtag sponsored for a thing we don't own.
I've never met somebody with a more inappropriate screen name. So let's
No, it's somebody anyone who thinks they're a good guy.
yeah.
It's absolutely appropriate. It
So-
sets the tone.
I do kind of want it. If anybody knows anybody at Backbone, Backbone, if you're watching, we're influencers.
Absolutely.
We're the biggest influencers out there.
Right.
We're sponsored by Big Bidoof. We are.
We are.
When you left, I found that the Bidoofs were broken, and I didn't know what to do with myself.
I'm sorry. I didn't think we were still doing that.
We're
bit.
always doing the Bidoofs.
We're always doofing?
Always doofing. ABD. Always be doofing.
I can make them work.
Yeah. Straight doofing. Got a little piece of... You got doofed.
Just saying.
A
Broken to me.
little more pop culture news. This is pretty big yesterday.
Yeah.
Show this. No audio, of course.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This is the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. And a lot of people were very excited by it. A lot of people were, of course, not excited by it. It's going to be divisive because it is a classic film that a lot of let's just be fair. A lot of middle-aged men enjoy.
Yep.
So, yeah, Darren plays bad. You said the same thing I said. Carrie Coon is in this, baby. Carrie Coon is the Ghostbuster mom. It's good to know that Janine is still okay. My beautiful crush. I love you, Annie Potts. I love you, Janine. But it seems like Carrie Coon is Egon's daughter. This is Egon's granddaughter
Yeah.
and grandson.
And we've been hearing
Played by
about
that
this
good
for
boy
so
Finn.
long.
Got delayed.
It got delayed a lot.
Due to the
because
COVID.
I remember seeing Finn from Stranger Things, like, as the casting for it,
Yeah.
with a preview of it and some images.
The wolf. Finny Wolfhard.
So long ago.
A very good boy. It's cool. We're clearly not seeing a lot of the spectacle that you would expect from a Ghostbusters movie. This is the release date trailer.
Yeah.
We're gonna get one more. You know how Sony Pictures rolls. We're gonna get one more big boy trailer. There is something that's very interesting about this, though. It's kind of cool because it takes a lot of tropes from a lot of different movies, and then also look at the little puffs, and look, they're turning each other into s'mores.
Marshmallows, little puffs.
Just little homicidal marshmallows.
Yeah.
But it's all like, it's that classic kids movie of like, we inherited an old house in the middle of nowhere, but I used to live in the city,
Right.
and I miss it. But you inherited this old house from Egon Spengler.
Yep.
And it's like, why did Egon Spengler leave you this house in this place? What is going on that makes that so important? I want to talk about how there are going to be kids growing up with remote control ghost traps.
Yeah, right?
How dare they?
Honestly wild.
It's weird that, like, it'll be interesting to hear them explain how the Ghostbusters were forgotten. You can't hear, but that was Dan
Wow,
Aykroyd.
there was just a PS5 controller
So
at the
wild. That was Dan Aykroyd who answers the phone in the firehouse, and he says we're closed. So Dan Aykroyd is there.
end. That's lovely.
Um,
I'm very intrigued by that. I really enjoyed Giggle Loop in the live studio audience said, I have oh, wait, hold on. Actually, their first message before that. My nephew is about to turn 5, and he's recently become enthralled with Ghostbusters. I'm excited for him to potentially have a new one. That's the shit I love. Like, this is why franchises that exist like this, like Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, these kind of stories that cross these like generational like
Yeah.
lines and boundaries, and getting these remakes that people are often skeptical or hesitant about. I'm so excited about that for things like my niece and nephew personally.
Yeah.
That, like, I love having a new Star Wars story to share with them. I love that. I think that's incredible, and it's so, so special because also a lot of kids don't have the patience to sit through older films. They look different. It's not what they're used to. It
Yeah.
can be hard to introduce them to it. But also, like,
I think
if you fall in love with a franchise that existed before you were born,
Yeah.
I've had so many of those. We're no more ever coming.
Yeah, I mean, so
I think
a couple
that's just
things.
a lovely story. Thank you for sharing.
It's really wonderful. I do love these cross-generational things that are happening. Of course, with Star Wars, it was super huge, and like the Marvel stuff, everything. Like, it's these characters that entire families can share. It's really interesting to me because I never thought about Ghostbusters as a big franchise. Like,
Really?
obviously, when I was a kid, it was huge, and I watched the cartoon, and I was obsessed with Ghostbusters.
Interesting.
And I love Ghostbusters too. And that's one of those movies where people are like, do you really love it, or was it just the one that was available to you? And let me tell you something. I fucking love Ghostbusters too. My family will still, like, every once in a while if we're hanging out, somebody will just scream out, "Here's Vigo!
Right.
You are like the buzzing of flies to him." But I don't know. Like, it's like the building of a Ghostbusters universe is a fascinating idea to me.
Well, like, think about it. Everyone in the world, cross-generationally, can answer who you're going to call. That's how you know a franchise is deeply impactful and should be put in that category.
Yeah.
I put it in the same category as Jurassic Park and Back to the Future.
Yeah. I get that.
Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones.
I guess I'm terrified that they're going to try to turn it into, like, more than that. You know what I mean? Like, Indiana Jones, you got like 4 movies.
Yeah.
You know,
We have a new Andy
5.
coming.
But I'm worried that they're going to try to turn it into, like, 18 Ghostbusters movies. I'm worried that everybody's
Interesting.
trying to pull a Marvel with everything.
Yeah.
And I hope
see
they
it
don't.
going more like Jurassic Park with Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Which the Jurassic World movies aren't great.
Hey, give that little girl dinosaur powers, you cowards.
Give her dinosaur powers and also stop putting Chris Pratt in things. But aside from that, they're not awful movies.
Yeah.
They're not offensive films. They're
No.
not, the damnation of the series. Just stop putting a crispy rat in stuff. But
Yeah, so here's another thing. Ghostbusters 2016. Obviously, very divisive. I thought it was a really fun movie.
yep.
I thought it was, I think the thing that they did that was their biggest mistake was that they didn't do this thing like you're talking about. You can't make a new Star Wars movie without saying, look, there's Han Solo.
Right. If
You
they had
can't-
done this first.
Yeah. You can't make a, even the new Star Trek,
Yeah.
it was like, don't worry, the Spock you know and the universe you know,
Still very real.
Still
We're not
real.
taking it away.
I wish that there had been more of a nod. Like, I wish the original Ghostbusters could have existed in that 2016 movie because I did like those 2016 characters.
Yeah.
Sony studio meddling fucked up the third act of that movie, but I thought it was pretty good.
And then we see this happening a lot. They're like, fine, we'll put women in things, okay, but they don't give it a chance to actually succeed, and then they go, see, it's because of the women. It's because it was women. People didn't like it when it was women. Guess we shouldn't make more stuff of women.
I think they just needed.
They don't set it up for success. They don't
Yeah.
give it the platform that it needs. They don't give it the kind of promotion that male leads receive in films, and they don't give it the support of the franchise. And they didn't receive that.
Yeah, and they edited that movie to hell. They didn't give it the benefit of connecting it to the rest of these beloved characters. They wanted to say no, they never existed, which is that was the biggest problem with it. But I really wish we could have seen those characters exist in this new stuff.
Don't you think that that's inherently a little bit of self-sabotage?
Oh, absolutely. That's by doing that, by deciding it was a full reboot, because that was what the creative team decided. They absolutely sabotaged themselves.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't think that it was completely unaware.
No, they made a choice.
I think that they made a choice that they knew would hurt the performers.
Well, and I think it came from
they chose to make it so that women couldn't exist as Ghostbusters in the same universe, and it would have to be a totally different universe.
Well, I think
for
it came
women to be doing this.
I think it came from a good place, which is Harold Ramis had just passed away, and they didn't want to do. And Bill Murray had talked about how he would never come back as Peter Venkman. Still won't come back as Peter Venkman. Doesn't want to. That's totally fine. He doesn't have to. So they were kind of like, if we can't get the involvement of these people, wouldn't it be better to just make this stand on its own? And I sort of see where they were coming from, but they didn't do it great.
Stands on its own less than a sequel. I think it does.
Oh, absolutely.
And like again, they're like, oh well, we didn't have access to these things. Well, if you can do it for Afterlife. Maybe you just didn't have enough motivation or care for the project to do it then. Because if we're getting these cameos in Afterlife.
Yeah,
maybe
well,
you shouldn't
I mean,
care that
there's
much about the other one, 2016.
well, the only person who's been involved with every single one, every single Ghostbusters project has been Dan Aykroyd. It's his baby, right?
Right.
It's his baby. So of course he's showing up for this. He wrote Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters video game, which, as far as I'm concerned, was Ghostbusters 3. He's had his hand in every Ghostbusters project, and so it makes sense that he's coming back.
Yeah.
And they're figuring it out. You know, Jason Reitman, his father, obviously directed the original Ghostbusters, and he's a great director as well. He was able to come from it from a more, I think, from this inside perspective of growing up with these people.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, Harold is gone, Bill doesn't want to be a part of this, we should just respect them and make this separate from them. Jason Reitman was the guy who was able to come in because of his relationship with all these people and go like, no, if Harold's gone, then this movie is about how much we miss Harold.
Yeah.
And that is the connection that I think makes the whole thing work. Is that Egon is all throughout that trailer and is all throughout that movie, even though you don't see him.
Yep.
And it's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm very excited. I think that movie looks excellent. I think it looks really, really lovely. I think that Finn Wolfhard is a fantastic young performer and a really good pick for this tone. Yeah. And I think, you know what? 2016 is a fun movie. It stands on its own as a comedy. It's cute. It's good. It's fun. Yeah. But I am excited that this is coming. Me too. I love movies. I love what Giggle Loop said. I love getting to share these things. I would love to watch Ghostbusters with my niece and nephew.
Oh my gosh.
That would be so lovely. How amazing. We've done Star Wars. I mean, I've got such a list, and I just live a little too far away, and I'm a little too busy to get through the list. But I want to do Indiana Jones. Yes. I want to do Jurassic Park. I want to do Back to the Future. Yes. It would have been Harry Potter, but we don't. We don't introduce a new generation to a bunch of turfs. Man, I had tickets
to Labyrinth in the park, or
Yeah.
Labyrinth in the in Sinespia in the graveyard next month. They canceled Labyrinth, replaced it with Prisoner of Azkaban, refunded me. They did an auto refund, but now I thought I was going to see Labyrinth in the graveyard with all of my friends, and they're like, "Do you want to?" I mean, it's the Alfonso Cuarón one, so it's arguably the best one, but it's. Do you want to see the Turf movie?
Turf movie instead?
Do you want to see the Turf movie?
No.
No. I wanted to see Labyrinth, and so I was gonna flip because they were doing a Scream 1 and 2.
I love Scream.
They were doing Scream 1 and 2
You know
Slumber
I love her
Party.
Scream. Oh, Slumber Party? Hold on, what?
Scream 1 and 2, it goes until like 3 in the morning. It's sold out. Don't look. Because I bought tickets to Labyrinth because that's the one I wanted. And I was, as soon as they refunded me, I was like, oh, I'll buy tickets to Scream. Oh no, Scream is sold out and Clueless is sold out.
God, Scream is my favorite horror movie of all time. It is not the best horror movie of all time. It is my favorite.
It's so
and
much
I love
fun.
It.
It's so much fun.
Fuck, I want it so bad.
I know. I'm gonna ask around and see if anybody has extras.
Same.
But yeah, I mean, these cross-generational movies, there are people that are very cynical about them. There are people that are like, why do we have to keep remaking things? Why are all these soft reboots happening? Blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you what, you can be as cynical about it as you want, and somebody, I'm sure, at an accounting and bean counting level in these businesses is being cynical about it. But as somebody who has been incredibly intertwined with the Star Wars community and with Lucasfilm for the last 5 years and been a fan of Star Wars my entire life, you don't understand what it's like to bring, whether it's your kid, your nephew, your friend's kids, you know what I mean, your niece or nephew, like whoever it is, being the person who gets to share one of those movies with a kid for the first time is it's something wonderful. And I don't, and I don't think a lot of these movies are cynically made at all.
Anthony, resellers are selling it for $80.
They're $20 tickets.
I know, and I'm thinking about it. I shouldn't. I won't.
You could
I
you could
want
almost
to.
buy a Backbone controller.
I know.
Somebody we know has an extra ticket.
Scream in a graveyard.
Somebody we know has extra tickets.
Anyways, y'all, it's 9:35.
And I think we got through the entire spreadsheet today.
That rarely happens.
We don't always do that.
We don't always do that. We usually got some stories left over. But hey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for showing up to support the show and starting your morning off with us. We, of course, are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we appreciate you showing up for it. We are an entirely independent network. This is a bunch of friends showing up. They took a bunch of cutie photos recently.
You may not be able to tell by our set, our elaborate set,
professional set,
and our insane level of production, but we are just a bunch of friends hanging out, making shows in a bonus room.
For like no money.
Yeah.
So everything that you do.
Some of us are unemployed and we don't want to talk about it.
Donations directly go to supporting the creators that make the channel. Subs and the Patreon go towards keeping the channel literally functional, paying for the basic necessities, and paying for fun things sometimes, like a little photo shoot where we all got to be cuties together.
Can you show them one?
Oh, really?
Can you show them one? Show them and it's too early one.
Okay. Oh
Show
my
'em
God.
one. These
a
aren't
secret.
We can't just keep talking about it though. These aren't final.
Uh-huh.
They're going to be retouched still. But we'll show you one. That's the one.
But it's not. No, that one needs work. It needs work.
Yeah. They all need a little bit of work.
What about this one?
Sure. This is not the hero photo, but this is one of them.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's all you can see. I'm just building the hype, Anthony.
Pretty good.
That's it.
And we can't thank you enough for your support during this. Both, not just monetary support, and we're about to go through the roll call, the honor roll for this episode. Thank you all. But also, everybody who's just showing up, who's spreading the word about the show, who's sharing it with their friends, making clips, sending out links to the VOD or the YouTube. It's entirely word of mouth, right? Like we said, this is funded on donations and our free time, and we do what we can. we do what we can to spread the word around. But the best thing that we have is the fact that so many of you love the show and are sharing it. And that's the most valuable thing in the world, is just to have you here and enjoying it, and to have you sharing it with other people that you believe will enjoy it. That's how it all happens. And
That's the only way it happens.
We're so honored to have you doing that for us and with us.
Yes.
That being said, money is also good. Follows are also good. Let's talk about the people
Let's do it.
that were generous. Do you want to kick it off?
Sure. Move this. Viantas, thank you so much for that follow. Just now, Nadia Bean gifting that sub. Ragdoll, I'm just not gonna say it. Junior, thank you so much for that follow. Water-filled lungs. Strawberry is best sherbert. Ipaget, thank you so much for the follows. Mike, gifting all those damn subs. How dare you, Mike? You stop that right now. Frank DeTank, FX Girills, thank you for the follow. Mike gifting another sub. How dare you? Geek Movie House, thank you for that follow. Hawk with the 5-month resub. So very cool of you.
That's a lot of time. Thanks.
Alias, MGB821 with the follows. Kiyoshi HS. Tom Bidan with the bits, as well as Kaylin Roar. Tom Bidan said, Saige, if you see this later, Anthony just did the dopest backflip. Like, whoa, so cool.
It was so good.
Kaylin Roar said, what if I gave you a reason to doof?
We don't even need a reason. Every day is a reason to do.
Whoa. Brand Mats and Redding99 with the follows. Just call me DJM with the $15 donation. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you for supporting us directly. Zoe Jade XO, Marissa0530 with the follows. 54 Aqua States with some very nice bits. Liu's Hauki. That's what I'm going
Looks
with.
like Lu Zhao Qi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lu Zhao Qi. I put the space in the wrong place in my
Yeah.
brain. Thank you. Rebecca Fa. Maybe you want to take over reading?
3
Thank
months
you.
here, and always too early. And of course, Blue Pirate with the host at the beginning of the show, and Brand Mats with the sub, and Ventatsu with the follow here in the last moment.
Ugh, thank you so much.
BBs, you little pickles.
You sweet beans.
We love you all so much.
We do.
We do believe that at the end of this month, probably once the old Twitch payment comes in, we're probably going to set up another painting stream. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it whenever.
We can do it whenever. Well, we're probably gonna. We have paint to paint the walls to make it look all fancy again.
Yes.
We also have new equipment that we need to test out.
Yes, we do.
Very fancy.
Yeah, we have some cool black magic stuff to test.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks
very
to
excited.
thanks to Black Magic for that stuff for the
Yeah.
loan. So we'll probably do that as a patron stream like we did last time and just
Yeah.
hang out with you for the day. If you're not a patron, consider doing it.
You can do it for as little as $3 a month. $5 a month is when you get your bonus It's Too Early clip every week.
And in addition, there are all kinds of other benefits. If you listen to our other shows, particularly Failed Save, our tabletop show, once a month, one of the Failed Save cast DMs a role-playing game just for patrons.
Yeah.
So check that out. And hey, Saige,
Yes.
I know you don't leave this room very often,
I don't.
but what else do you do when you're not in this room?
Good question. I mean, a lot of it's from this room, to be fair. I'm live on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can find me at NotSage on Twitch and everywhere else. You can also find me on the D&D channel tomorrow for the Black Dice Society, and you can find me a bunch of times a week on Smosh Games and Smosh Pit, and also here on this channel all the dang time.
All the ding
Playing
dang
it up.
time.
There will be no failed save this coming Friday. We'll let you know that right now. There will be an announcement going out on Twitter. It'll be in the Discord and stuff as well. A bunch of people just have conflicts this week, so we're going to take this week off. We're going to ride that high from the wedding episode.
Baby, we
and
work
give
with-
everybody a little time to recover.
We work with too many people that are too good at what they do
It's true.
and are in too high a demand, and sometimes they need a week to go be the fucking superstars they are.
Yes, they are. So there will be no failed save or damsels this week.
Um,
And Anthony,
yes.
where can they find you on the internet?
Oh, my stars and garters, Sage. Thank you so much for asking. First of all, in addition to being here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I am usually part of Failed Save on Friday nights. I also stream over on my channel, twitch.tv/Anthony Carboni. I've been doing a lot of Zelda, but tomorrow we're going to do Death's Door because I need a Zelda break.
Woo!
Because
Death's
Skyward Sword is like blah, 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 blah. And Death's Door is a Dark Souls with a bird.
Love that.
So that's what I'm doing. I also have a science comedy podcast with Jeff Canada called We Have Concerns that comes out every Friday. You can go to wehaveconcerns.com or anywhere you buy the highest quality top shelf podcasts.
Or click that link in the description.
And everywhere else, I'm at a Carboni.
Hey, in addition to that, look at the schedule you're on right now. You've been awake for the show. You got up at exactly 8 a.m.
Monday, Wednesday,
with
Friday.
us? Well, you're probably on that schedule if you're doing it 3 days a week with us. I would assume you're probably up at 8 a.m. every day.
Gotta be.
So tomorrow, be sure to tune in for Trouble in Techburg. Trouble in Techburg is an incredible kids on bike show with a bunch of wonderful creators. It is in our same time slot. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific. That's 11 a.m. Eastern, I guess. See, their time isn't broken.
Hey.
That's only on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
If you like the idea of a trailer for an all-kid Ghostbusters, you have got to watch a Kids on Bikes
You're
role-playing
so right.
game session.
It really does have the energy of an all-kids Ghostbusters show.
Yeah.
That's 100% correct.
And hey, Thursdays, and then your Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then all we need is something Tuesday morning.
Yeah, right? Consistency.
Let me think on that.
We love you very much. Be sure, you can also go back and catch up. There are VODs, and they're also up on our YouTube channel. Those players are so incredibly talented, and it's a very fun show. I enjoy having a show once a week here on the channel that I just get to vibe and watch.
Yeah.
And I do every week.
They just joined us recently, though the series itself is not brand new, but it's a wonderful jumping on point. They've only been with us for a couple weeks. So it's a perfect time to get on as a new watcher.
Absolutely. There's a good catch up in the first episode. So come meet me in chat, huh? I'll hang and chat with you tomorrow morning. It'll be fun.
Hey,
We love you.
BBs, we fucking love you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.